The extravaganza called the Cricket World Cup has ended. It ended with a heartbreak for 1.4 billion people. Despite having won a record 10 matches on the bounce, the men in blue were second best on the day when it actually mattered. Nevertheless, Rohit Sharma and his team accepted the defeat with grace. Even fans across India acknowledged Team India's performance through the tournament and hailed them for their efforts. But the moment the World Cup concluded, controversies began to take center stage. We are in the middle of an election season. What else did you expect? Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the second half of the final. After all, the match was being played in a stadium named after him. And as bizarre as it may sound, some opposition leaders actually blamed the Prime Minister for India's defeat. While some said the moment he arrived at the stadium, India began to perform poorly, others said the men in blue lost because they were playing in a stadium named after the Prime Minister. The BJP was quick to hit back, saying this is petty politics. Listen in.
Ideally, sports or any cultural activities or any special events must not have any connectivity with politics. But if you see the chronology, you will see one particular person, when he is very much here, the Istro effect fails. When he shakes hand with Virat Kohli, he remains away from century for 3 years. But in one particular match, I am there to witness the cricket match. And in that particular match, India gets defeated, and unfortunately, that is the final one.
देखिएगा, ये सब ज्ञानी पंडित हैं, अपने अपने हिसाब से बयानबाजी करते हैं, लेकिन आज देश के खिलाड़ी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में अपने आप को बहुत गौरवान्वित महसूस करते हैं। पहली बार हम एशियन गेम हो, ओलंपिक गेम हो, सभी गेमों के अंदर अच्छा रिकॉर्ड बना रहे हैं, जीत कर आ रहे हैं। हमने खिलाड़ियों के लिए अच्छा वातावरण देने के लिए, अच्छी सुविधाएं देने के लिए बजट का प्रावधान भी किया है, उनको हौसला अफजाई की है। आज विश्व में भारतीय खिलाड़ियों का नाम है। हार जीत जीवन का अंग होता है, उसका इस प्रकार से खिलाड़ियों का मजाक नहीं उड़ाना चाहिए। इस प्रकार से खिलाड़ी को मजाक उड़ाते हैं। लगातार 9 मैच जीते हैं, वो 10वां हार भी गए तो कोई बात नहीं, मनोबल बढ़ा के रखना चाहिए। ये लोग उनका मनोबल गिराने वाले लोग हैं ये।
Then there was another controversy, and it can best be called man-made. It surrounded the absence of 1983 World Cup winning captain Kapil Dev. Now, the former Indian skipper claimed he was simply not invited for the final match. Though he did not cite any specific reason and simply said officials must have forgotten, that actually did not stop the opposition from politicizing the issue. First, it was Congress MP Jairam Ramesh. He claimed Kapil Dev was not invited because he spoke up supporting female wrestlers in their fight against BJP MP Brij Bhushan Singh. Then came Shiv Sena Uddhav camp leader and MP Sanjay Raut. He too slammed the BCCI and the BJP, accusing them of politicizing an international event by ignoring an icon. Listen in.
कपिल देव जो भारतीय क्रिकेट के एक शिखर पुरुष है, जिसने पहली बार हमारे देश को विश्व चषक वर्ल्ड कप जीत कर लाया था, उनको भी अहमदाबाद के इस क्रिकेट के सबसे बड़े उत्सव में बुलाया नहीं गया। उसने भी नाराज़गी व्यक्त की है। अगर आप कपिल देव को नहीं बुलाते और सभी छुटपुट नेता बीजेपी के एक्टर सबको इनवाइट करते हो, और जिसने सबसे पहले वर्ल्ड कप जिताया उसको नहीं बुलाया, उसके टीम को नहीं बुलाया, तो कौन सा क्रिकेट है? ये तो राजनीति है।
While majority of these controversies have been India-centric, the winning team, Australia, too found itself in the thick of action, and for the wrong reasons. After their victory, Australian batsman Mitchell Marsh was clicked this, with his legs resting over the World Cup trophy. The image has now gone viral on social media, with many users slamming the Aussie batter for insulting the accolades. What do we make of these controversies? Should we even take them seriously? Have they just been invented to keep the news wheel going, as it were? Chandresh Narayan is an author. He's a sports broadcaster as well. He, like most of us, have been following these controversies on Twitter. He joins me now. Chandresh Narayan, first of all, thank you very much for your time. Let's go one by one, should we? First of all, what do you make of this entire controversy about the Prime Minister landing at the stadium and then suddenly Team India not doing well and the opposition saying, ye to panauti hai, etc. Completely unnecessary. But what do you make of it and what does it tell you?
I think, Shreya, what's happened in the last 17, 18 years since the time social media has taken over our lives and our telephones, we've had a lot of free time, and thanks to the free and cheap data at times, we have a lot of free time as well. I've been speaking to a lot of journalists and commentators who've flown in from abroad for the World Cup, and they were amazed at the free and cheap data that's available in India. So it becomes very easy for everybody to just rant, vent, and we just needed something else to keep ourselves entertained. But remember, this is not something new. In 1992, most of our viewers may not be aware, when New Zealand were on a similar winning run and everything was happening with them, there was a rumor floating around in India that New Zealand batsman Mark Greatbatch has got spring in his bat, and that the ICC has checked it, and he's going. They're going to be banned, and that some New Zealand player was found using drugs and everything. And this was a rumor that was spread, and at that time people said that they heard it on BBC and CNN. BBC and CNN has now become social media. And it has become very easy. So 30 years on, we have moved from analog signal to digital. That's the big difference. That's what I can see in the last 3 decades. And I can't think of anything else. India lost. They were second best on the day, on the day that mattered. Since 2003 World Cup, 2003 ODI World Cup, India has played 51 matches in the ODI World Cup. They've lost 9. And out of them, 4 are the most that mattered. We have to live with it. We have to get better at it, and then move on. That's it. How does Australia get better at it? They lost in 2011. They lost in 2019. They moved on and then came back and won the World Cup. You just can't sit and brood about it and look for scapegoats around everywhere.
Okay, so essentially 2 things for the first controversy we are talking about. Too much free time and too much free data. And therefore, you have these unnecessary controversies, made-up controversies. Secondly, Kapil Dev. The opposition says that all ex-captains of Team India were invited and Kapil Dev wasn't. And it was deliberate that he wasn't invited because he's someone who's known to speak against the establishment. Now, I was doing a quick check, Chandresh, because I may be one of the only 2 people in this country who didn't watch the match, but I was checking, and I was told that even MS Dhoni was not in attendance. So what do you make of this controversy? You think it was deliberate? Because Kapil Dev himself has commented on it, though he just brushed it aside saying that, maybe they didn't have time, it was a busy time, maybe they forgot. But what do you make of it? Do you think it was deliberate?
Rhea, I think the bigger controversy is the fact that you didn't watch the match. So I think that, that's a bigger controversy. That right here is a conspiracy theory I have, that Shreya didn't watch the match, hence hence India lost the match. So if anybody's watching, she's the reason why India has not won the World Cup. Anyways, with regards to the fact that Kapil Dev didn't turn up, I think Kapil Dev was asked on a network that is contracted to, that there were stories that the World Cup winning captains were going to be honored at the mid-innings event. But I did, and all the World Cup winning captains, not just Kapil Dev, Clive Lloyd and Alan Border and Ricky Ponting, Steve Waugh, Arana Tunga, and everybody. I saw none of them. This was a story, again, which was floated on social media. Everybody picked up. Hence, they asked Kapil for a clarification. Nobody can reach Mahendra Singh Dhoni. I don't think even social media can reach Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So nobody got his version. So again, this is something about social media, a storm in a teacup, I would say, and that's what it is.
I want to be Mahendra Singh Dhoni, a place where social media cannot reach me, Chandresh. But leaving that aside, the last controversy, you saw that picture, the Australians relaxing. I don't know what to say about it. I just didn't think that's the way you should be treating your trophy. But it's theirs. They can do what they want, I guess. And it's I think if it becomes problematic here in India, I think it's also a cultural issue. We were treated with much more respect than the Aussies did. But anyhow, what do you make of this picture? Because this is the one that is generating a lot of buzz on Twitter as we speak.
I think again, it's about Shreya. It's about how we view things and how the Aussies view things. Now, for the Aussies, the word ridiculous, they use it to explain something sensational or brilliant, and we may take umbrage to the fact that they are saying they're calling something that, say, Kohli played a brilliant innings. We'll say he played a brilliant innings. They turn around and say it was a ridiculous innings, and we might take umbrage to that fact. I think these are all things that it varies from culture to culture. It's fine for them. They put an arm around their elders and call them by their first name. We don't. We stand up in respect when we see someone elder or somebody who's in a position of power. They don't. They treat them as human beings. We treat them with respect. So I think it varies from country to country, culture to culture. Again, this is something I think that a lot of cheap data, a lot of free time, and looking to find something to rant about, vent about, because India didn't win the World Cup. If India had won the World Cup, we would have had pictures and stories and backstories about the coaches and about their homes and the state governments giving away bonuses and so on and so forth. We don't have that, so we have to find something else. It's even more than news television network. It's not a 24-hour news cycle for it like in a television channel. It is a 365 days television news cycle on social media. A lot of free time and a lot of cheap data.
Last question, not a controversial one though, and nothing to do with controversies. How have you viewed India's campaign at the World Cup? And what do you peg, the finals to, the way it went?
I think, Shreya, India's campaign, and again, something I go back to data, since the start of the 2003 World Cup, in the last 20 years, India has had a magnificent run in ODI World Cups, extremely fantastic run in the ODI World Cup, in the sense that 2007 was an aberration, but overall, if you see in the last 20 years, they have done well, but they have lost the matches that matter. And I think it boils down to the fact that 2015, 2019, and 2023, in the last three World Cups we've seen, on the day that matters, the Indian ODI 11 or the Indian white ball 11 doesn't have the depth. As in, if you saw yesterday, I'm sorry, you didn't see it yesterday, and that's one of the reasons why we are in this situation. KL Rahul was batting a bit slowly because there was not much batting to come after him. That was not the case with Australia. They had a lot of all-rounders. Even in the bowling, India had only 5 bowlers who did brilliantly throughout the World Cup. But on the day that mattered, and this was something that I had been voicing and I had feared that this could happen, there was not an additional bowler that the captain could go to. I don't think that would have made a huge difference, but it just creates options in the minds of the captain that I can throw the ball to him. In the past, captains have had Tendulkar, Ganguly, Raina, Sehwag, Yusuf Pathan to throw the ball to and get something out of them. But in this World Cup, since the time Hardik Pandya got injured, India didn't have that option, and I think this is the reason why India has not been able to win since the 2015 World Cup at least. And this is something that the selectors, think tank, everybody need to look at. Find players who can do more than one thing with the bat and with the ball and contribute that way, because white ball tournaments are won like that. And Australia showed us once again why that is very important.
Okay, Chandresh Narayan, thank you very much. I promise to you, next time India reaches the World Cup final, I'm watching. Because we need Team India to win. We leave it there. Chandresh Narayan, thank you very much for taking all those three controversies and telling us why we saw controversies. Chandresh is saying it's simple, too much free time, too much free data.